Stop trying to be liked. Have you ever pretended to agree with someone just so they would like you? Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no? Most of us have. We all want to be liked and accepted. It feels good to get approval from others. But trying too hard to make everyone like you can hurt you deeply. It can make you feel stressed and empty inside, because you are not being true to yourself. Today, I want to share a simple message. Stop trying to be liked by everyone. Instead, start being yourself and living by your own values. This change can set you free. I'd like to begin with a story. It's a fictional life story, but it might feel very real. It's about a person who spent years trying desperately to be liked, and how they finally learned to be authentic and confident instead. Through this story, we'll see the emotional cost of always trying to please others, and discover the freedom and peace that come from self-acceptance. Let's meet Jane. Jane's story. From people-pleasing to self-acceptance. Jane was a kind, friendly person who always wanted everyone to like her. Ever since she was young, she believed that to be a good person, she had to make everyone around her happy. She would go out of her way to avoid conflict and please everyone. At school, she laughed at jokes she didn't find funny, just to fit in. At work, she took on extra tasks, even when she was exhausted, because she couldn't say no. With friends, she agreed with every opinion, even if deep down she disagreed. Jane thought that if she never upset anyone, if she was always nice, then everyone would like her and she would be happy. But the reality was very different. Years of trying to please everyone had an emotional cost. Jane rarely thought about her own needs. She said sorry all the time, even when she did nothing wrong. She feared any criticism or disapproval. If someone was even a little upset, Jane blamed herself. She would stay up at night worrying, did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? She tried so hard to be perfect for others that she started losing touch with who she really was. She didn't know what she liked anymore. If you asked her for her favorite food or music, she would say, "Whatever you like is fine." Jane had become a stranger to herself, bending like a pretzel to fit everyone else's expectations. On the outside, it looked like Jane was very agreeable and sweet. People said, "Jane is so nice. She'll do anything for anyone." But on the inside, Jane was struggling. She was tired and anxious all the time. Being kind and helpful is a good thing, but Jane went too far in trying to make others happy. As a result, it left her feeling emotionally drained, stressed, and anxious. She felt like no matter how much she did, it was never enough. Some people even began to take advantage of her kindness. At work, a colleague named Tom noticed that Jane never said no. He often dumped his work on her, and she would spend extra hours doing Tom's tasks. Jane wanted to refuse, but she was afraid that Tom or others would think she was selfish or get angry with her. So she kept saying, "Sure, I can do that." She believed this would make them like her more. Over time, the pressure of pleasing everyone took a heavy toll. Jane started feeling resentment quietly growing inside her. She would smile and say, "Yes." But in her heart she felt angry and unappreciated. She felt lonely too, because she couldn't share her true feelings with anyone. How could she? She thought if she ever showed her real self, with her own opinions, needs, or flaws, people would leave her. So she hid behind a polite mask, always agreeable, always fine. This constant pretending made her feel empty. Imagine trying to play a different character every day of your life. That's how Jane felt. She was living for everyone else, and no one was really seeing the real Jane, not even herself. The breaking point came one evening at a close friend's birthday party. Jane had spent the whole day baking an elaborate cake from scratch because she thought it would please her friend. During the party, she ran around making sure everyone had drinks, had food, and was having a good time. She didn't relax at all. Late in the evening, Jane overheard two acquaintances talking quietly. One said, "Jane is so annoying, she's such a people pleaser. It's like she's desperate for approval." The other person replied, "I wish she'd just chill. It feels fake, you know? Like she's not being real." Jane felt like she'd been punched in the stomach. She had tried so hard to be liked, and here were people calling her annoying and fake for it. In that moment, a harsh truth hit her. No matter what you do, someone might still not like you. Jane went home and cried. She felt crushed and exhausted. Crushed because she realized her efforts hadn't worked, and exhausted because she had been holding up a false smile for so long. She thought, I've done everything for everyone, and I'm still not good enough for them. That night, Jane finally asked herself, what about what I want? Who am I trying to be? She realized she didn't even like some of the people she was trying to impress. One particular thought stood out in her mind, almost like an inner voice or a memory of a quote she once saw. Stop trying to be liked by everybody. You don't even like everybody. It was true. Jane didn't even like those two people at the party who badmouthed her. Why was she bending over backwards for people she didn't respect or even care for? This was a wake-up call. In the days that followed, Jane began to see how unfair she had been to herself. She remembered how she used to enjoy drawing and going for runs years ago, but she had given those up to spend more time doing things for others. She realized that her constant people-pleasing had made her lose her own voice and passions. Jane knew something had to change. She decided, enough is enough. She made a promise to herself to stop living for other people's approval and start trying to be herself. At first, this change was not easy. The next time Tom at work tried to hand off his work to her, Jane took a deep breath and said, I'm sorry. I really can't take on more tasks right now. Her heart was pounding. This was the first time in years that she told someone no. Tom looked surprised, maybe even a bit annoyed. In the past, Jane would have felt terrified and immediately said, okay, never mind, I'll do it. But this time she stood her ground politely. To her surprise, the world did not end. Tom simply shrugged and did the work himself. No big blow-up, no one hated her. In fact, another co-worker privately told her, good for you. You have to stand up for yourself. That small bit of encouragement felt huge to Jane. Emboldened by this little victory, Jane tried being more honest about her feelings with her friends and family. When a friend invited her out on a night she was really tired, Jane normally would have forced herself to go anyway, just to not disappoint her friend. Instead, she said, I'm actually very tired tonight. Can we meet another day? To her relief, her friend said, of course, that's fine. Take care of yourself. Rather than thinking Jane was a bad friend, her friend understood. This made Jane realize something important. The people who truly care about you will understand and accept you when you are honest. If someone gets angry or leaves just because you couldn't please them every time, maybe that person only liked you for what you did for them, not for who you are. As Jane started living more authentically, something beautiful happened. She began to feel more confident and calm. She no longer panicked at every sign that someone might be unhappy. She started sharing her real opinions, kindly and respectfully, and found that people actually respected her more. They could see the real Jane now. A woman who had her own ideas, who could be funny and quirky, who sometimes said no when she needed to, and who wasn't just a mirror reflecting everyone else. Jane also learned to spend time on her own needs. She picked up drawing again. She went for runs in the morning and felt her stress melt away. Slowly, the anxiety and anger inside her began to fade, replaced by a new feeling of peace. One day, a while after that fateful birthday party, Jane found herself smiling for no special reason. She was simply content. She realized that for the first time in her life, she was living for herself, not for the applause of others. Not everyone liked the new Jane. A couple of acquaintances drifted away when she stopped always agreeing with them or doing favors constantly. But Jane was okay with that. She didn't need a large crowd of people who only liked a pretend version of her. She would rather have a few true friends and, most importantly, her own self-respect. By accepting herself as she was, with her strengths and flaws, Jane found a sense of freedom and peace she never had before. She no longer felt like a puppet pulled by strings of others' opinions. She felt free. Jane's story shows that trying to be liked by everyone nearly broke her, but discovering self-acceptance healed her. She learned that when she stopped trying to please everyone, she could finally please the one person that mattered, herself. And by being herself, she attracted people who liked the real her, which felt wonderful and true. Lessons learned. What can we learn from Jane's journey? Here are some clear lessons and takeaways for all of us. You can't please everyone, and that's okay. No matter how nice or helpful you are, there will always be someone who doesn't like you, and that's normal. Not everyone will agree with you or approve of you, and they don't have to. Don't take it as a failure. Even the kindest, most popular people in the world have critics. You are not alone if someone disapproves. It simply means you are a real person, not a perfect doll. So instead of trying to make everyone happy, focus on being honest and kind, and accept that some people may walk away. Let them go. You don't need everyone on your side. Trying to make everyone happy can make you unhappy. When you constantly put others first and ignore your own needs, you end up drained and resentful. Think of it like this. If you spend all your time filling others' cups, eventually, your own cup becomes empty. You have limits, and that's okay. Pushing yourself too far to please others can leave you feeling exhausted and anxious. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's necessary. Remember, you deserve care and rest too. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Be yourself, not who you think others want you to be. If you wear a mask all the time, people might like the mask, but you'll feel invisible and lonely. Pretending to be someone you're not is a heavy burden. Eventually, you can lose sight of who you really are. It's much more fulfilling to be your genuine self. When you are authentic, the right people will like you for you, and you'll feel better about yourself, because you know you're living truthfully. Life is too short to be spent acting out a role just to please others. Your uniqueness is your strength. Embrace it. True friends and allies will accept the real you. The people worth having in your life are those who respect your boundaries and value your honest feelings. If saying no or being honest makes someone angry and they leave, then that relationship might not have been healthy or genuine. On the other hand, when you start being real, you might be surprised. Some people will get closer to you. Honesty filters out the fake friends and brings you the real ones. Don't be afraid to let your true colors show. The people who matter will appreciate you even more for it, and you'll build stronger, more authentic relationships. Your worth is not defined by others' approval. This is perhaps the most important lesson. You are worthy because of who you are, not because of how many people like you. Chasing praise and approval is like chasing a never-ending target. You'll never reach lasting happiness that way. Instead, learn to approve of yourself. Value your own principles, talents, and dreams. When you look in the mirror, you should see someone who has dignity and self-respect, not someone begging for validation. Build your life around your own values and what makes you proud, rather than around what you think will make others praise you. When you do this, an amazing thing happens. You start to feel a deep inner peace and confidence. You become the author of your own story, not a character in someone else's. Conclusion. In conclusion, stop trying to be liked by everyone. It's a tiring and painful way to live. Instead, start trusting that who you are is enough. When you stop living for approval, you start living for yourself. You free yourself to grow, to explore your own ideas and desires, and to find the people who truly cherish you for who you are. Like Jane, you might be scared to change at first, but remember how much better life became when she finally let go of the need to please everyone. She found freedom, happiness, and real connections. And you can too. Starting today, I encourage you to take off any mask you've been wearing. Be brave enough to be yourself, even if not everyone claps for you. Stand up for what you believe in and say yes to yourself for a change. You will find that the weight of pretending and pleasing will drop from your shoulders. You'll breathe easier. You'll sleep better at night knowing you stayed true to yourself. And in time, you'll see that the right people, the ones who matter, will like you for you. And you will like yourself much more as well. Remember, the only approval you truly need in life is your own. So live in a way that makes you proud and brings you peace. Don't live for likes, live for your values. Stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be you. In doing so, you will gain something far more precious than fickle approval. You will gain self-respect, inner peace, and genuine happiness. Thank you. And may you find the courage to live for your values, not for approval. Go live your truth and let your light shine. Your life is your own, and that is something to cherish. Be you, boldly and unapologetically. You'll be amazed at how much better life feels when you finally stop trying to be liked.